like you're supposed to have it all together, but inside you're wondering how everyone else makes it look so easy, you're not alone. This is Southern Sisters, a place for women who want to grow without the guilt, find purpose in the messy middle, and be reminded that you were made for more. Make sure you stick around. We always save the bloopers for the end. Welcome to our episode of Southern Sisters. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad that everyone is back.
Is that because you recorded a podcast by yourself?
You did great. Okay.
It was so good.
Well,
You don't need us.
no, I do. It's always
great.
better when we're together. All right. So today we are going to be talking about lies have truths and Google searches and why truth still matters. But before we jump into that, our icebreaker question today is, what is one truth you confidently told your kids that maybe wasn't exactly actually true? And I will start with that. I tell my kids all the time, the Holy Ghost goes to bed at midnight. I know that that's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true. So that is one thing. And I think I have told my kids before that if they eat watermelon seeds, that a watermelon will grow out their ears.
Yeah, she told me that when I was little too. Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you believed her?
Yeah, I did. Same thing with the bra. Same thing
There's
with the
even a
Barbies.
book about it, right?
Yeah.
Watermelon growing out your ears?
No. Oh, wait.
In your
it just
belly.
grows in your belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of ones that I could think about that are surrounded by tradition.
Yep.
That we're not going to talk about because everyone's listening. But we'll do another episode about that later. That's adults only. But I thought about the Passy Fairy and how the only way I could get Austin, it was a stroke of genius, and it was totally because I prayed about it. I'm like, this idea did not come from me. But we couldn't get Austin to give up his passies. And I remember he would have one for his hand and one in his mouth. And then by the time I was like, I have to find 2 passies now every night. And then by the time he was like, other hand, so he wanted one for each hand and in his mouth, I was like, I'm not finding 3 passies a night. And now Caleb does that with 2 passies. But we told Austin that there were a lot of babies that needed passies, and it was time that he needed to be a big boy and give them to the other babies. So we told him, sorry, Austin. Busting myself, but we told him we were giving them to other babies. And then after that, he didn't ask about them again. His little sweetheart.
Yeah, that's the only way I could get Brooklyn to stop doing passies is telling her that we gave them to my niece and it was for her babies.
But how old were your kids? Because
Like 3.
4. Brooklyn was well past where
time.
Yeah, her teeth were.
When they start getting their teeth out a little, I'm like, it's time. It's time to give it
I
up.
know. So
Can you all think of anything?
the one that came to mind for me is something I've been telling my son recently, which is that when he tells a lie, his nose grows, and that's how I can tell that he's lying to me.
oh yeah, or that like moms always know when you're lying.
And the only reason I had to start doing that was because he has a little sister now that he can blame everything on.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
so, yeah.
Didn't you say one time he covered his nose and you were like, you knew it was a
No,
lie?
he said, he told me a lie, and then he goes, did my nose grow?
And you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. And
That's
now I
like-
know you lied.
Wasn't it Kate that said like she didn't throw away her food? She's like, but don't look in the trash can.
Oh, I did that too when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I ate all my food, but don't look in the trash can.
Oh, wait. So real quick. So actually yesterday, I think I said something about like, oh, Brody, your nose just grew. That's how I know you're lying. And then my daughter, Jade, she goes, actually, did you know that your nose and your ears never stop growing?
That's awesome.
Okay,
Thanks,
she's like
Jade.
validating.
She's
Yeah.
like, fun fact, they
So-
never grow.
Right.
Is that because we lie all the time?
Yes, probably.
It could
Totally.
So that trick doesn't work on her because she knows that your
knows
nose
better.
just keeps growing anyways.
Funny.
Oh my goodness. All right. So before we get to our segment for the day, we are going to do our sponsor for this episode. And I am so excited about this sponsor because it's really yummy. Okay, so
We're all excited about this.
we
sponsor.
are we are super excited. So as part of our sponsorship deal, she has gifted us with cinnamon rolls and homemade bread for everyone to take home.
Which is amazing.
Right before conference weekend.
Yeah.
which is super great. And this is the amazing Sherilyn at Dough Worth It. So our episode today is sponsored by Dough Worth It, a home bakery in South Haven, Mississippi. Sherilyn, the heart behind Dough Worth It, has a passion for baking bread and sharing it with others. She believes bread isn't just food, it's comfort, connection, and joy around the table. From honey white loaves to cinnamon rolls, her baking brings people together for good days, hard days, and everything in between. You can find her at doughworthit.com or on Instagram at doughworthit. And I will make sure to link that in the show notes so you can find exactly where she's at. She has amazing bread. My favorite part of Sherilyn's bread is that if you look at her ingredients, because she always lists it out, the first ingredient is love.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's really cool.
She loves making baked goods for families and is passionate about it. And she grinds her own wheat.
Wow.
That is one thing that I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
Can we order from her website?
Yeah.
Or just contact her? Okay.
Yes. And she has pickup in South Haven, but she also has recently started working at my husband's office.
Pick up at the chiropractic office?
Pick up at the chiropractic office.
Or at our family
that's a
birthday
no-brainer.
parties.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer.
Yes.
Ben's like, I got 17 orders of cinnamon rolls in my office.
Yeah, right. Ben's like, just bring me one and you can bring as many as you want.
Yeah.
It's called the tax, the Ben tax.
It's
That's
not a bad
amazing.
deal.
Tell her thank you so much.
I will
This
tell
is
her thank
amazing.
you.
They look delicious.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
They were really excited when I showed up with 5
They're
boxes
beautiful.
of
The
bread.
cinnamon rolls are like as big as your hand.
Oh, I can't wait to see them.
It's
I haven't seen
exciting.
them yet.
Yeah.
Should we show what they look like?
Yeah, do it.
Oh my gosh, the smell. So pungent, y'all. Smell this. Can I smell? Oh, it's like trapped in
Oh
there.
my gosh. That's what
She
Megan said
baked
she
them
baked
fresh.
this
She
morning.
baked them this morning so they'd be fresh for us.
That is so nice of
Do
her.
you know, cinnamon rolls is something I've not mastered, so I'm going to be ordering this
yummy
from her.
looking. Oh my god.
We were really excited. Dough Worth It. You should check it out. Okay. Our segment today is Ask a Sister, and we think this is especially profound because of what seems to be going on in the world right now. A friend who listens says, how can we stay faithful when we are being attacked? And
You know, I was thinking about what you said about the algorithms last week in your episode that you posted and how we see the things that we
consume.
Yes. Okay. And I was just thinking, I never see the attack part of the faith. I never see that. I don't see people attacking the faith. I don't, whenever there's comments and people are saying like, I can't believe why people are making such a big deal about blah, blah, blah. I don't see those comments.
Yeah, because they filter your comments.
Yeah. Like I don't see. I'm like looking
they
for the.
do?
I'm like looking
You
for the
didn't know that?
nasty ones.
No.
I'm like looking
No.
for the nasty
In the
ones, and I don't ever
algorithm.
see them.
There was a husband and a wife that were watching the same video, and with both of their algorithms, they both looked at the comments and they were completely different. The
What?
woman's was all one perspective, and the man's was all a completely
That's
different perspective.
insane.
So not only do they
Oh,
do the videos you're watching,
Yeah.
it's also the comments.
that's crazy how they target the comments based
So
on
here's the problem with that is, and we'll
shows
probably
one
get
view,
into
shows
this
one
later.
side.
It's one side, and it makes you feel like everybody's with you, and there's no like gentle,
Debate,
yeah,
or other
It's
opinions.
polarizing.
yes,
Yes.
It's meant to be polarizing.
absolutely.
There are things going on in the world right now. We had our LDS church that was driven into and people were murdered there. That happened this past Sunday.
And the building
Set
was
on
set
fire.
on fire.
Yeah.
The building was set on fire.
A lot of people
in
that lost
Michigan.
their lives.
Yes, in Michigan. A few days later, there was something happening in Manchester, England. It's at a Jewish synagogue. Same kind of thing. Someone strapped on some bombs and knifed a couple of people. Like this is an attack.
Did you hear about the other bomb threat and that actually was at Utah State this past week at a Turning Point event?
Another one.
Yes.
But it was a bomb.
So I feel like it's not just our faith; it's all faith.
It's faith
It's anyone
everywhere.
that
Any
is
faith.
any faith that is trying to follow God and trying to follow Christ. I saw this story. I saw this a couple of days ago, but it's talking about the fact that persecution is literally being ignored, especially from mainstream media. And like there is in Nigeria right now, there's a mass execution of Christians. Like talking about since 2009, 12 million Christians have had to flee their home.
Wow.
They're so old school.
12 million. And between January 1st and August 10th of this year, 7,800 Christians have been kidnapped in Nigeria. Like it is
Oh, I did see the stuff going on in Nigeria. It's
Yes.
really,
it's horrible.
yeah.
And it's all because they want to create a government where it's just a political and spiritual state, and that means they can't have other faiths in their country. And it is
It's like genocide,
exactly. It's almost like it's too much to even keep track of.
right? Too many
It feels like
instances.
Jesus must be coming soon because it feels like it's everywhere.
Yeah. I will say though, what has been like really cool to see is like how much stronger people come back from those types of attacks. I don't know if you guys saw, but someone actually started a GoFundMe for the shooter's wife.
Yeah, for the family
Yes.
of
I
It
the
was
person
David
that
Butler.
I don't know who that is.
really.
Yeah. Well, because
Wow.
it's almost like, I don't know. I feel like you have an opportunity when you're in the news and things like this happen. You can either stand and be a peacemaker. So the same day that shooting happened in our church was the same day we lost the prophet of our church, which is he's been the president of our church since
2018.
and was all about being a peacemaker.
He was a
And
healer.
He was. He was a healer. He was a cardiac surgeon.
World renowned.
Brilliant mind and just the sweetest man. And to have that happen and then to have this happen in a church, it was like this. You can choose how you're going to react. It's the same that happened with Charlie Kirk and watching his wife get up and talk about how she forgave the shooter. Like having that happen right before all of this happened and things continuing to happen. I feel like the world wants us to be divisive and the powers that be want us to fight each other. And when the answer is not to do that because it only harms us, I think it's so important. And there are so many people right now, I have felt it myself, like, I don't want to start a fight. I don't want people to write all these nasty comments. So I'm just going to not say anything. I feel like that is what a lot of people feel, but that's not the right answer. Yeah. And the right answer is to say what you believe, talk about who you are, stand up for what you believe, but also be open and willing to have a conversation.
Yes.
And not be so divisive and be anti anybody changing their mind. That is one of the things that I really loved and respected about Charlie Kirk. If you watch any of his videos, and I had followed him for years actually before that, and if you watch his videos, he is constantly just bringing up a different point of view. And his whole purpose was to get all of these college kids to just ask questions.
And to think.
And to think for themselves. And I remember him talking to, one of my favorites that I saw lately was, he was talking to this dad and son. And the dad is really democratic and the son has become really conservative. And they were fighting all the time. And his whole message was, he's like, first of all, family comes first. So you guys need to bury the hatchet and start talking to each other with love because you love each other. And then the second thing he said is, do you think that the democracy that you grew up with, Dad, is different than what your son is growing up in?
That's a really good point.
Right. And the dad was like, well, yeah, probably. And he's like, you're holding on to how things used to be, and your son is becoming more conservative because you would probably be that way too if you were young and in all of this right now. Yeah. And so to me, I'm like, he constantly was just testifying of what he believed in and talked openly with people. And I think that is the direction we need to go.
And that's why he was so dangerous.
Yes, because they were very afraid of him because he was opening people's minds.
Well, what has made me really sad to see is like people that I have known for a really long time, people I consider friends, is repost or post things that say, if you believe XYZ, then unfriend me right now.
Right.
because that's not who I am at all. Like I grew up, I was taught to be respectful of everyone, no matter what their religion is, no matter what they believe in. Like, just be kind and just, try to find common ground somewhere. And so it just makes me so sad to people say that. Like, if you don't believe like this, then unfriend me. And it's
I don't
like,
wanna be a part of
so
it.
we all should think the same thing.
And the problem with this is, and this is where it's headed, if you say, if you don't believe the same as me, unfriend me now. That's cancel culture.
Totally.
Which then turns into, if you don't believe the same way I do, you deserve to not live.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a step away.
It's where it leads.
It's a small leap.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why everything needs to come from love. Like, if you think about the life of the Savior, he was not surrounded by all believers. He was surrounded by sinners and prostitutes and people that would steal and liars and thieves and people that had all sorts of things wrong with them. Lepers that were like cast out. And if you think about that, where do you want to be? Who do you want to surround yourself with? People that believe all the same thing and everyone's happy and there's never, or do you want to make yourself a better person by opening your mind just a little bit and then praying about what you believe is true?
Thinking about as far as how can we stay faithful when we're being attacked, my thought was that when, just like Megan says, like the strongest emotion in our home is love. Like, who is the loudest voice in your life? Is it the voice of God because you're pouring yourself into the scriptures?
Right.
Or is it the voice of the world or these things you're reading or the reels you're watching or or the news? Yeah. So it's like you can recognize what truth is if you are just pouring into the word of God. If you're hearing God's voice the very most.
I have a hard time. I can't watch the news. I have a really hard time. It affects my spirit. So everything I tell Adam, I'm like, if there's anything pertinent to what I need to know, and a lot of it is on social media anyways, but I'm like, if there's anything that I need to know, you better tell me because I'm not watching the news.
I started just asking ChatGPT for highlights of things I need to know.
Yeah, that's great.
I used to be the same way. Like, I didn't want to look at the news. I thought it was just like, it was too much for me to handle. And recently, I feel like there are certain things that I can no longer ignore. And that I need to pay attention to. And for me, Megan is somebody that I'm like, as soon as I see something, I'm like, I want to know what Megan thinks about it.
Right? Yeah. That's awesome.
Which I still need to go over to Megan's house.
I know, we still need to go to lunch.
Right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's true. Well, that's what I mean about people that you trust. People's opinions that you trust. God is first, always.
Yeah.
Always pray about it first. And then talk to the people that are spiritual leaders to you. Talk to people that you trust their opinion, that is not just one-sided.
I
It's
will
so
say though,
important.
I do think that most of the time the news really does only show us negative things in the world, and I wish that they would show a little bit of more of like the good things happening in the world. But that's also why we've been told that we need to be looking for
the good,
the everyday miracles.
Yeah.
Okay, so this kind of goes into our conversation today. It's going to overlap a lot. Like that segment just kind of
I know.
has bled
You
into
did that on purpose.
our conversation. Yeah, it was finely crafted. Okay, but why do you think truth feels harder to find in today's world? Why are we having trouble with that?
So many things.
I mean, AI, let's take that for instance.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about AI.
AI. I have a lot of opinions about AI. AI is a tool. It can be used for good. It can be used for evil. It is just like when the internet came out and everybody was afraid of it and everybody was excited. You can use it for either way. AI is awesome. I love ChatGPT to a point. When it starts to replace your opinion, then you're like, maybe I need to,
Or your friends.
Right? Or your therapist?
yes, right? You have to be really careful because AI
saying.
also has opinions and a point of view that may not be matching your own, which it does. So also, all of the videos that are coming out now that are AI, you have to be so careful. There are so many that I will watch now, and if you're looking for it, you can see it a mile away. But when the faces and the mouths don't quite match up, or it looks a little... Have y'all seen these yet? I bet you have. You just haven't noticed. Pay attention.
No, it was real.
Pay Pay attention because they are now taking people's likeness and putting words on their mouths in their voices
Yes.
to say certain things, and it is not them. And you have to be really. Next time I find
Even
one, I'm gonna send it to y'all. Yes,
Like so and so just come out with this new song, and
Yeah.
it's actually just AI, but it's using their voice.
it is.
That is
bonkers.
terrifying.
No, it's coming, and you better be ready. So there are a lot of people that are saying things that aren't really them saying things. So you have to be really careful where you get your truth from. Let's talk about a story that we found that Courtney showed us about our other sister, Dom, who is Evie's sister. Evie, you need to tell us this
gosh.
because she
All right.
posted it online and it was hysterical.
Yes. TikTok,
We
yes.
will. We will somehow share this TikTok, whether it be like
too.
Instagram stories
Yeah.
or something like. But anyways, so she saw this like viral prank on TikTok, and it was using AI. And she's like, "Should I play this prank on Dad? Because I've shared this before. My dad is
she
the
asked you first?
yes. My dad is the best.
You didn't tell Josh?
No. He's the best person to play pranks on.
Evie's family loves to play pranks.
Yes, but
We
you
would
don't
not
play
be able
pranks
to
on my
handle
mom.
it.
No,
we would
just
not be able to
you.
handle
Just
it.
your dad.
Yeah.
Just
so
Dad.
anyways, so the prank was it was using AI. You Photoshop a picture, making it look like a homeless person showed up to your door, and then you do a few other pictures of the homeless person inside
In your house.
In your house, yes. So she sends the picture of him at the door in our family group chat. She's like, "Guys, this homeless man just showed up. What should
do I do?
What do I do?" And she's like, "I'm going along with it." I'm like, "Close the door." And Josh is like, "Call 911." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Close the freaking door, Dom."
Was he freaking out at home with you?
We were in different rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then my brother Juan, he's like, "Really, Dom? You just took a picture of this guy?"
Why did you just take a picture
Yeah.
of him at your door and ask us what to do?
Yes.
They're freaking out. It
So-
looked real.
Yeah, my dad wasn't replying, so I
They were out of town.
yes, they were out of town. So I was like, "I'm gonna call him." I call him and I go, "Dad, did you just see what Dom sent?" He was like, "No, what she sent?" I was like, "Dad, you need to look right now. I'm really scared for her."
Oh my
And then you hung
gosh.
So then my sister's recording this whole thing. My dad called. He's freaking out. What does he want? Why did you open the door? That's why we have the camera, so
Yeah.
that you can talk to them through the camera. And she goes, "I just gave him some water." And then,
wanted
yeah,
water.
and my dad's like, "Okay, is he gone now?" No, he's on the couch. And he's like, "Damaris, why is he in the house?" Like, and my brother, who lives in the same town as them, but he lives in an apartment with his wife, ends up showing up to the house.
Like comes over.
Yeah,
he
because
does.
he's
It's so
worried.
funny.
Yeah, because he said
Oh,
that
my gosh.
his wife told him, "Did you see what your sister
Did she
just
knew what
did?"
was going on?
No, she didn't. Yeah, so they all
All
drove
women
for
like
this.
go over and check on her.
Yes,
Well, for sure.
Juan shows up.
He
And
was so
sees,
mad.
Yeah, sees no one's there.
Oh my
My
gosh.
sister starts laughing. He's like, "Ciao contigo, ciao contigo," which means like,
Be
basically
gone.
like
Bye
forget
with
you,
you.
forget
Yeah.
you, And so,
funny.
and then my brother, I have another brother who lives in California, FaceTimes the group chat so we can all answer it if we want to. And I answered it first, and he goes, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "Did you see what Dom news? I gotta see this. I gotta see this." So then my sister answers, and we're just laughing. We play along for a little bit.
Oh my
And then he
gosh.
goes, "Wait, it's a prank."
Oh my god.
I mean, your dad went from like being so mad to being like, "Oh, he's your boyfriend."
Yeah.
I know how it was so funny.
Yeah, and he goes, "Nike AI, Nike AI."
What does that mean?
It means like forget AI, basically.
Oh.
Like,
Stupid AI.
They're
Yeah,
like, she ruined your
basically, yeah.
couch.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was so funny, but it looked so real. She took a picture. She opened her front door and took a picture and then put an AI homeless guy there.
And if you know my sister, she would be the
She
type
would
of
be the
person
type that
to
would do
take
it.
a picture and be
I
like, "What
love
should
you,
I
Mom."
do?" Or
so
like
funny.
to let him inside the house.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why it was so perfect
Oh, that's so
for her to
funny.
play this joke.
Guys, you gotta be so careful. But also play the prank on your parents because that's really funny.
Oh, that's
Just tape
terrifying.
it. Just kidding.
If they're the type of parents. that
I
can-
said that I feel like now, whenever it comes to telling the truth, I feel like AI, it almost takes away our excuses to make mistakes because it's like we have all this knowledge and information at our fingertips. We don't have any excuses to make mistakes. Like we should know all of these things. So it's like when I'm doing business and I do something that is a mistake and I have to own up to it, or one of my employees did something and messed up something, I feel like it's like people are not as like it's like this shame that comes with it rather than what should be.
Understanding.
What should be is like people.
We're human.
In my mind, I think I respect people that own up to their mistakes because we're all human and we all make mistakes. However, there is less grace, I feel like, for mistakes being made. Or the story that I have in my mind is like, oh no, I hope that like they're not going to try to sue or they're not going to try to come after me.
Cancel
Because if
culture.
I admit that I made a mistake, then I'm liable for whatever, you know? So
or
it's like,
lost a client.
exactly. Yeah. So it's like telling the truth is above all my biggest priority, and I want to keep that. But having AI now that tells us all the information that we just didn't look up, there's no reason not to know stuff. Sometimes it feels like.
Yeah.
So
That's really hard.
that's how I felt.
I think another thing too is like so much bias, whether it be like a news outlet or a social media page. Like, I feel like that's another reason why it's so hard to find truth in things. And also, as well as like we've seen this since forever, truth being mingled with lies, you know, to make it believable.
Just a little bit of truth.
Yes.
Actual truth with a lot of lies.
Yeah.
George Orwell, who was an author, he wrote a lot of really fantastic books about our time. 1984, Animal Farm, all that stuff. Says, in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. And I think that that is part of the greatest challenge that our children will have to face, is to be able to recognize the truth versus the lies, versus what they see in front of them, and to know if it is true or not. So it kind of leads us into our resolution with this. How can we guard against being deceived spiritually and culturally? Because it's huge.
Can I talk about one that's come up lately that's really bothered me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably controversial. Have y'all seen all the acetaminophen stuff that's come out?
And how it's linked to autism.
Yes, but all of the stuff that came after. So President Trump made the announcement that they've been working on this, and all the things. And there were lots of people that took it as an opportunity to take acetaminophen as pregnant women. You haven't seen this?
Yes, they're like
They're
showing their
popping
little Tylenol
pills
bottle.
on camera as pregnant women as this protest.
What?
Y'all, it is everywhere. And there are so many people that have had overdoses. There are women that have died and their children have died. It's all over the place. And it has crushed me to watch this happening because of something someone says, and you don't agree with that person or don't like that person, then you go the total opposite direction. And this is the problem with our society. So then all of a sudden there was this huge protest of all of these women doing this. And this is the time when you have to make a choice for yourself. My friend Shelby she was a nurse, and she wrote this beautiful Facebook post, which we'll link later. But I love the way she put it, because her daughter, she's got some children with challenges, and she just wrote this beautiful post. Like, I had some people that were saying, how dare you say my child isn't special and meant to be this way? Like, if it could have been Tylenol, because they say that have said for years that Tylenol is the only thing that pregnant women can take, right? So with all of this, I feel like once you know better, you do better, right? Or you figure it out for yourself. And with all of this that has been coming out, there's so many people that are so angry. And my friend Shelby was talking about how she was like, as a mother, if there was even a chance that my daughter wouldn't have to experience life like this, because even though she's beautiful and perfect the way she is, the world does not accept her the way they should and have things that she needs. If there was even a chance that I could have prevented this from happening, I would do it in a heartbeat. And as a mom, she was just like pouring out her heart. And it meant so much to me because she was just saying, pause. Just pause for a second before you make decisions because you're angry and you don't agree with somebody and you hate Trump. Pause for a second and recognize, is there truth to that? And I think that's the biggest thing that we could ever do, is when information comes out, you research, you figure it out, you learn, you do your best to figure out all sides of it. And then when you know better, you do better, but you pause before you make a rash decision and just start doing things that could be harmful.
Mm-hmm.
And that overwhelmed me. It's the whole COVID vaccine. We want to get controversial. Let's get controversial, right? The COVID vaccine.
Oh,
That was a huge controversy back in the day when 5 years ago, when everyone was pushing the vaccine, right? I believe that there are some people that the vaccine would be fine. Mm-hmm. I believe that it wouldn't harm some people. I believe that different people have different genes. I have a gene that I now know that I have that I didn't know that I had then, where I prayed about that vaccine when y'all remember the feeling of the pressure everywhere. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
It was in my own home. My husband was like, I feel pressure as a spiritual leader, as the bishop of our ward, because all these people are asking me what I'm going to do and that I should get it and I should lead whatever, right? So there were all these pressures. And he was like, what are you going to do? And I said, I can't tell you what to do. You are made up of different things. I can only tell you that I have prayed about it and I felt a very strong no, that it would harm me and could harm my chances to have kids later. I felt that overwhelmingly my own answer. And if I hadn't had that piece of truth for myself, it was so easy to still even be swayed because there was all of this, y'all know. And so I truly believe, could it have harmed people that if you prayed about it and you got an answer, maybe it was fine. Like it was fine. It wasn't for everybody, but I know that was the answer for me. And that is the reason why I think it is so important to get your own answers. Always, with every little detail and every little thing.
So how do you do that?
Well, that was one of my thoughts too, was to always strive to have the Spirit with us, because I know I keep hearing people quote this over and over, but it's President Nelson saying that we will not be able to survive the last days without the constant companionship of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. And
So-
God's word.
So what does that look like?
And now they're calling AI a companion. And I think that's interesting because people are going to AI instead of trying to listen to the promptings of the Holy Ghost.
Because it's easier.
Or instead
Yeah.
of reading your scriptures. Hey, look at the scripture for me.
That's why it's called
You know?
personal revelation.
Yeah.
Like you received that personal revelation for you,
Right.
whereas for somebody else, maybe they would get the answer like
That
yes,
is
Totally
fine.
different.
You
Like
should.
it's
And they
fine.
did get those answers. And also, then what do I say? And then I have a choice. Now what am I going to do? Am I going to be judgmental and tell everybody that my answer is their answer and they needs to get on board or they're ridiculous? No.
Nope.
You love people where they are. You accept people and the answers that they receive. And you just do what's best for you and your family.
And I think it's the same thing with the Tylenol thing. Like
100%.
pray about it and like
See how you feel.
because I
But
see people.
research first.
Yes, and I see people saying too, like, well, I took Tylenol my whole pregnancy and all of my kids are fine, so that's a lie. But it's like you said, we're all made up of different things.
Yeah, we
and
all have different genetics.
It's like people saying the COVID vaccine would, hurt pregnancy,
Yeah.
things like that, But I got the COVID vaccine so that we could go to a Dallas Cowboys game, and
Right.
I got the first shot, and
Yeah.
I prayed about it, and I was told it was fine for me,
Yeah.
and then I had twins, so it's like
maybe that's why you got
that's
twins.
why.
All
Yeah.
meant to be.
no, I will die on the hill that it was acupuncture.
Will you?
We'll die on that hill. Yes, totally.
And I think like also don't believe the first thing that you read and
Right.
see. And there's so many times where I see people taking things out of context
Yeah.
and they make that the main
The
thing
truth.
to make people believe that this person is hateful or this
Yeah.
person believes this, when if you go and watch the whole video or if you read the whole article, it changes.
But it's like you have that.
you
You
on
see
edge.
something,
You
it
get
puts you on
defensive.
edge, you get defensive,
Yeah.
like a rabid animal about to attack.
Yes.
And it just brings out that natural instinct in you when it's all about the pause.
Yes.
Right.
You
Like-
have to do the research.
You have to stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
And my prayer was like, okay, if this is going to hurt me in any way, could you please protect me from this? It's like, I believe that God is more powerful than anything.
Yeah.
And that kind of faith and like, this is going to be my decision that I go forward with this because I don't feel any kind of like terrible,
Negative.
feeling about it. But if it is going to hurt me in some way, could you please protect me?
That's a great
And
point.
I didn't feel judged by you, Lindsay. Like when, when you decided not to get it, I didn't feel like you were going to be, die of COVID, I felt like very confident in our ability to find answers for ourselves and that we're different.
We have lost the ability to be neutral.
Yeah.
Yes.
In our country as a whole, and it makes me so sad. You don't have to be one extreme or the other.
You don't. I think all the time I'm like, I will see stuff and it would be really easy to get upset. And I just kind of have to pause and say, that's not a hill that I'm going to die on.
No.
Right.
Like,
There's power in the pause.
But people do.
Yes.
Thanks.
People
Like
do.
the unfriend me.
Yes.
Yeah.
They feel like,
Cancel
I don't agree
culture.
with you.
not okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna focus on this week. Is
gonna
there's
be 2
power in the
episodes.
pause? I think there's. You asked the question earlier, and I'm gonna answer with what worked for me. When I was learning to pray and to get answers for myself, the thing that worked best for me is I would study it out first. So this is what I mean about doing the research in everything, no matter what. Study both sides. Study everything that you can find in the scriptures. Study everything and the
In medical journals,
journals,
in reputable
other
news
opinions.
sources.
Right.
Look at both sides.
Look at everything. And then you pray about it. And instead of saying, tell me what to do, I feel like this way or this way, tell me what to do. And I remember being like, I never get answers when I just say, what way should I go? Which way should I go? And so I heard this talk forever ago, before I got married, a long time ago. And he said, you should study it out. You should make an informed decision. And then you say, Heavenly Father, here's the direction I'm going. Stop me if I'm wrong. And that phrase to me is how I decided if Adam was the one I was supposed to marry. I'm like, please stop me if I'm wrong. Please. I'm like, this is what I feel in my heart is the decision I should make. Please stop me if I'm wrong. And that in my life has become my mantra of, here's what I feel like is the right thing. Stop me if I'm wrong. And if I need to correct course, because there have been times when I have felt really strongly, that is not the way you should go. And I'm like, whoop, okay. But I'm like, here's my decision, and I take it to the Lord, and then tell me if this is the right way I'm going.
The more you practice that, the easier it gets.
It
You
does.
feel it. Like you feel the difference.
Totally. And you know pretty quickly, and then you can go the other direction if you need to. But that,
I'm still not very good at that, but it has been like really inspiring for me to see you guys, like how you guys are, I don't know. You guys are just so good at like
You're so good too. I love you.
following inspiration and knowing how the Spirit talks to you guys. I know that it's easy for you guys to know when the Spirit talks to you, and to me it looks like it's easy for you guys to do the thing, but I know that
it's better?
not. I know it's not always easy to
it's
do the thing.
painful. And
It's uncomfortable. It's very
full
uncomfortable.
of fear.
Yeah.
Also, it's only come from
Practice.
years and years of practice.
Years and years of practice.
And I think the biggest difference is years ago, I was like, I want to hear how you speak to me.
Yeah.
And I had a desire to hear. And then I was like, whoa, just kidding. I don't want to know anymore.
No, please stop.
Dial down.
Just kidding. That's too hard. Okay, bye. And that's how we feel a lot of the times. And honestly, I feel like having you guys and having each other, like it's been such a huge blessing. But that's what I mean about finding your people. Find the people you can discuss spiritual things with, because then you're discussing spiritual things all the time. And
It strengthens you.
Yes.
There is power in that. If you want to be able to recognize truth, then you have to have the Spirit. If you want to have the Spirit in your life, then you have to be living in a way that allows the Spirit to be there. You have to sanctify yourself a little bit, and that is going to take sacrifice.
It's exhausting.
I feel like I do. Have you read this chapter of my book yet?
Yes. I've read every chapter.
You have?
Megan, hurry up and release this book.
I already gave him to you like 3 weeks ago.
No, you
Just kidding. I know.
Okay, but I feel like the thing that we're missing is people want to be able to live the life that they want to live by watching the shows and consuming the movies.
Yeah.
It's trash.
You need to say that without whispering it.
it is trash. And if you don't sacrifice a little bit to stay close to God,
If that's the only voices you're hearing,
if that's the only voices you're hearing, you're not going to hear
or
him
that your kids are hearing,
to speak up for the truth.
The world is so loud and it's so chaotic and it's everywhere.
I do want to share this about drawing close to the Savior. Jesus said, "Everyone that is of the truth heareth my voice." Those of us who are of the truth, meaning followers of Christ, are those who sincerely seek after truth. All mankind should be seekers after truth, for it is the supreme essence of our lives. So if you're not doing the work to seek for truth, then are you truly a follower of Christ?
It is work.
It is work. It is fitting that we remember the words of Jesus. This is John 18:37, and he says, "And for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness of the truth." So if you are seeking him and if you're searching for Christ and searching to have his spirit in your life, you will be able to have his spirit help you bear witness of the truth as we are looking for it. It is the only way. So moving forward from here, how do we teach our kids to be truth seekers? Well, we teach them about the sources of truth that they need to look to, and we invite them into the seeking process, and that's going to look different for everybody.
And we share our experiences.
Yeah, we share our
When we're
experiences.
sometimes it's really hard to know what's true whenever you're in a relationship that is filling you with self-doubt. And I think a lot of people experience that, and some people don't realize that they do. I had a lot of trouble figuring out what my true reality was coming out of a marriage. And I got married really young, and my husband came to me and said that he didn't believe in God anymore, and that the church was just a crutch that people use if they can't face reality. And I was a lot younger than him, and he's really smart. He's a doctor, and I mean, I have a lot of respect for him. And I believed everything he said, because he would teach me all these things about life, because he had way more life experience than me, just getting married at 19. And whenever he first told me that, I realized something was wrong within myself when I reacted to him saying this by saying, it is. Like, it is a crutch. Like, it's not true. It's not real. And I was like, okay, what do I know? What do I know is right, and what have I known my whole life? And I think we're all converts, like, to Christ and to God at certain points in our lives, and sometimes we have to get reconverted. And this was one of those moments for me where I was just kind of shook about everything I believed in, and I was it's called codependency, and it's a real thing. And I was very dependent on his opinion and on what he thought, and the beliefs that he had. And I used that as a strength whenever, I felt less spiritual than I wanted to be, because he was that leader in our home spiritually. And then whenever that shifted, I had to find that strength within myself again. And I remember just reading through the scriptures and just kneeling and praying and asking again, like, is this true? And like, this is my marriage, and this is like, this would create like a contention that I don't want to have if I don't have to. And I think he honestly thought that I would follow him and go with him because he knew I loved him. And
you had two
and
little kids
I
at
knew
the
he was
time.
smart. And yeah, and I only had one. I had a 9-month-old baby when this happened. And so I just kind of I just realized like how much, like, I got the answer that was, it, like the words in my mind were, it's true, and you've always known that it's true. And that was it. Like, that is what I needed. And that's what I held on to. And I think sometimes when we're filled with this self-doubt and we're filled with all of these deceptions and we're confused about what reality really is, and we don't trust ourselves because of the relationships that we've had that have tried to paint this picture for us of who we are when it's not really who we are. Like, telling yourself that you're not enough, or telling yourself that you can't do certain things, or telling yourself that like you're just no good, or that you're not smart, that you can't make decisions for yourself because you didn't go to college, you're stupid, all these thoughts. Just having those answers that are clear because you're seeking after them. I know that God does that for us. I know that he gives us the answers that we need when we need them. And he brings to light the things that we need to know when we need to know them. And I think trusting in that has helped me move forward and push through certain hard situations because he's got me, and I've seen it. And I tell friends like that are going through hard times with relationships, I tell them if all they have is me to tell them that they can come out of the other side of this, because I've seen it and I've seen what God can do in somebody's life when you trust him. Now I can testify of that in my life because I've seen it, and I can help other people, overcome these things so that they can become who God wants them to be, and to be able to be that light for other people too. Mm-hmm. So
that's incredible. Courtney, thank you for sharing. I know that is really hard to talk about because that was a really hard time in your life. You have to figure it out for yourself. If you don't have your own answers, then you can't face the hard things. You can't. I would say your children watched you go through that process of searching for answers and the choices that you made. All of us have to practically be open about what we see happening in the world and talk to our kids. Teach them about history and where we came from.
Yep, the fundamental truths.
Fundamental truths.
Where they came from, who created them, who they are.
In the show notes this week, we are going to have a couple of our favorite news sources that we like that we're going to list out, so you can have access to that. We also have a blog that I've been writing, and we will link that as well. It just goes with every couple of episodes. I just post it out there, and
she just put her book on Amazon.
Not.
So go to Amazon and search for Megan Boston.
That is next
Because this is by 3 weeks from now.
No, this is next week.
All right, I'm going to do this every episode just in case.
Oh my gosh.
Do it and leave it in the one that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So flip that and use it for the one that is right.
All right, let's shut this down. We're going to shut this down. Our reflection question is, where do I need to seek God's truth more than the world's opinion this week? So just kind of think of one place that maybe the world's giving you more opinions than God, and just there's power in recognizing that.
And it's okay to turn it off and take a break.
Yeah. And until next time,
Keep striving. We'll see y'all soon.
now it's time for the bloopers.
But the president of our church, who's been the prophet for what, 10, 15 years? A long
Since
time.
2018.
Let me scratch that.
Feels like 25
75 years he's been prophet.
And he only started at 25.
Feels like it's been longer. He's just been serving for a really long time.
10, 15, 20,
like
35
50 years.
Yeah.
You can laugh about it.
I'm sorry, Lindsay.
Okay.
I
I didn't know either.
I shouldn't have said it. We should have let you
I'm
keep
sure
going.
they were like, no, he hasn't.
Continue. Sorry.
Keep
Go
going.
ahead. Go ahead.
75 years ago.
Reel it in. Reel it in.
Okay.
It's so easy to get up in arms.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
to get like all of your, what is it, like a porcupine, like all your, what would you call that?
The
Prickles.
Prickles, like it raises the hair on, like
Yeah.
you just, like an animal.
you get defensive.
Defensive?
Yes, like you get defensive, but I
Yeah.
think all the time, I'm like,
Point again. It's a good point.
no, but I don't even know how to say
I
it though.
laughed too hard.
No.
We were talking about that the other day at Inklings. We're like,
Yeah.
like Megan and Lindsay are like surefire. Like
Megan,
they
sure
will
enough, can't do
follow.
a sit up, but she can totally.
And I know that it's
No
not
disclaimers,
easy.
Megan. Stop it.
It's not an easy thing to always like follow through.
Wait.
Okay. What did Megan say?
You don't have to put yourself down.
sit up, but she can listen to the spirit.
Why am I picturing you doing a sit up now? Stop it! Crunches are my best friend.